Hey guys, Mr. Hassman here. Today we are going to be learning the box method for multiplication and division of polynomials, right? So when we were in elementary school, we probably saw this. It's the box method is just a different way of kind of multiplying numbers together, right? So here we can see instead of multiplying 34 times 28 using the standard algorithm, right, what we can do is we can break it into different parts, right? 34 we can change into 30 plus 4, and 28 we can change into 20 plus 8. Right? And why we do this is it just kind of gives us a different method of multiplying, right? And it makes the numbers a little bit easier to multiply. And what we do then is we draw out this box and we distribute the numbers based on the box, right? So here we would have 30 and 4 adds up to 34, 20 and 8 adds up to 28. And we would just multiply these numbers, right? 30 times 20 is 600, 30 times 8 is 240, 20 times 4 is 80, and then 8 times 4 is 32. We can add all that up and we get 952. Right? So 34 times 28 is 952. And this is just another example of that, kind of showing the difference between the area model and the standard algorithm, right? So if you wanted to take a look at that, feel free. But let's go ahead and let's start looking at some examples real quick. So let me just get this ready to go. So let's look here. Number 3. So we're going to use the box method to multiply polynomials. And the way we do this is the exact same way as we would multiply two numbers, right? We're splitting it into parts, which it's actually already split up for us, and we're just going to multiply those parts together. All right, so here we have 4x squared minus 5x plus 1. Well, we're going to write that on the top here, 4x squared minus 5x plus 1. Then this 2x minus 3, we're going to write on the side here, 2x minus 3. Then all we have to do are multiply these terms together, right? So 4x squared times 2x is going to be 8x cubed. 2x times negative 5x is negative 10x squared. And then 2x times 1 is just 2x. Then we can do negative 3 times 4x squared. Well, that's going to be negative 12x squared. Negative 3 times negative 5x is going to be 15, positive 15x. Right? And then negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. From here, all we have to do are combine the like terms, right? So we have this 8x cubed. That's just going to be 8x cubed. Right? Then we have this negative 10x squared, and that's going to be minus 12x squared, which leaves us with negative 22x squared. Then we have 2x plus 15x is positive 17x, and then just this minus 3 at the end. A couple things to know. This 8x cubed, that's our biggest power, right? That's our term with the biggest power. It's always going to be in this top left corner, right? The number with the biggest power is always going to be in the top left corner. And it's kind of the same thing with the bottom right corner. That's always going to be our term with either no variable or the variable with the smallest power, right? Another thing to know, the diagonals are always going to have your like terms. And this will be really clear in the next problem we're going to do too. Which all of these kind of little tips here, it's going to help you, especially when we start dividing with these. Okay, so let's look at number 4. We have 5x squared plus 4x minus 1 times 2x squared minus 3x plus 3. So we're just going to write out our box here. We're going to have 5x squared and then 4x and then minus 1. We can draw out our box. And then on the side, we're going to have 2x squared minus 3x plus 3. Right, then all we have to do are just multiply these together, right? 2x squared times 5x squared is 10x to the 4th. Right? 2x squared times 4x is 8x cubed. And then 2x squared times negative 1 is just negative 2x squared. And we do the same thing here. Negative 3x times 5x squared is negative 15x cubed. Negative 3x times 4x is negative 12x squared. Negative 3x times negative 1 is positive 3x. Then we have 3 times 5x squared is 15x squared. 3 times 4x is 12x. And then 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. So now all we have to do are add all these values up. Or we can just say that combine like terms, right? Our biggest one is this 10 times x to the fourth. And then combining all the cubes, we have 8x cubed minus 15x cubed. So that's going to leave us with negative 7x cubed. Then we have this x squared. So we have negative 2x squared minus 12x squared plus 15x squared. And that's actually just going to leave us with plus x squared, right? Because we have negative 14x squared plus 15x squared is just x squared. Then we have 3x plus 12x leaves us with 15x, and then that's all minus 3. Now again, notice the diagonals are our like terms, okay? Keep that in mind. It's just kind of a good, sorry, I don't know why that's there, but that's just kind of a good little trick there, right? So let's look at number 5. Number 5 is a little different. The product of two polynomials is x cubed plus 7x squared plus 7x minus 15. One of the factors is x plus 3. Now what it's telling us is that when we multiply two factors together, we get this as our answer. So we need to find the other factor. Well, what we do then is we draw out our boxes and we put x plus 3 on the side, right? Now, we already know the biggest number here is this x cubed, right? And the one with the smallest power is this minus 15. Now, just like in the other ones, we're going to put the number with the biggest power in the top left corner. And we're going to put the number with the smallest power in the bottom right corner. So now I know these are kind of already filled in. We have this x squared and we have this minus 5. But if they weren't there, we could still figure it out because we know that x plus 3 is one of the factors. Well, x times something has to be x cubed. And that's how we get this x squared, because x times x squared is x cubed, right? Then we can say the same thing with this minus 15. We know 3 times something has to be minus 15. And so we would do 3 times negative 5 to get negative 15. Right, then we know, okay, well, what about this 7x squared, right, 7x squared? Well, since we already determined that this is x squared, given that this is x cubed, we can multiply 3 times x squared, and we'll get 3x squared. Now we know this box right here, that has to be our like terms. So it's going to be something plus 3x squared is equal to 7x squared. Well, we know then it has to be 4x squared. Which kind of leads us to our next term right here, because x times something has to be 4x squared. Well, then we would just have 4x, because x times 4x is 4x squared. And really, that just gave us the rest of the second factor there, right? And we could even finish this, right? This would be 12x, and then x times negative 5 is negative 5x. And we could check too, we could combine all the like terms, but we're gonna end up with the same value here. So the term is x, or sorry, the other factor is x squared plus 4x minus 5. And we could leave it at that, or we could write it as x plus 5, x minus 1. Right, either of these work. All right, so let's keep going. Let's do another problem like this. Let's say it didn't give us the top values here, right? We know the product of two polynomials is 6x cubed plus 13x squared plus 3x minus 2. One of the factors is 3x plus 2. Use the box method to find the other factors. Okay, so it gave us one of the factors, 3x plus 2. So we're going to put that on the side of the box here. we know the biggest number we have is 6x cubed, or I shouldn't say the biggest number, the number with the biggest power is 6x cubed. We're going to put that in the top right corner, sorry, top left corner, 6x cubed. Now we got to think, okay, well, 3x times something has to be 6x cubed. So what do I have to multiply 3x by to get 6x cubed? Well, I just have to do 2x squared. Right, which helps because that'll give us this bottom one here, right? Because 2 times 2x squared is 4x squared. So now we got to think, okay, well, with our like terms, 4x squared plus what is equal to 13x squared? Well, I know 4x squared plus 9x squared is going to give me 13x squared. So then we think, okay, well, 3x times something has to be 9x squared, and it actually ends up being 3x, right? 3x times 3x is 9x squared. And we can even finish this off, right? 2 times 3x is 6x. Right? And then we got to think, okay, well, my smallest number is negative 2. All right, so what do I have to multiply 2 by to get negative 2? Well, it's just minus 1. All right, and then we can say 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x, so it all works out. So our other factor then is 2x squared plus 3x minus 1. Now this is pretty similar to how we do numbers 7 and 8 because we're dividing here. Right? It gave us, think of dividing is the same as number 6 and number 5, right? Because it's just kind of multiplying but backwards, right? So we're dividing 2x cubed plus 14x squared plus 19x minus 20 divided by x plus 4. So what it's saying is that x plus 4 times something is this polynomial right here. So we got to figure out what is that something. Well, we kind of do that the same way. We're going to write this x plus 4 on the side. And I know, right, this big, the number with the biggest exponent here is going to be 2x cubed. So I'm going to write that in the top left corner. All right, and I know x times 2x squared is going to give me 2x cubed. Then I can multiply 4 times 2x squared is 8x squared. Then combining like terms, I know 8x squared plus something here has to equal 14x squared. Well, I know if I add 6x squared, I'll get 14x squared. So then I can think, okay, well, I know 6x times x, well, that'll give me 6x squared. Then I can multiply this out, right? 4 times 6x is 24x. Right? And then I got to think my smallest number here is negative 20. So I'm going to put that in the bottom right corner, negative 20. Now 4 times what is negative 20? Well, it's just negative 5. All right, then I could say x times negative 5 is negative 5x. So my other factor, or in other words, this 2x cubed plus 14x squared plus 19x minus 20 divided by x plus 4 is equal to 2x squared plus 6x minus 5. All right, so it's just like numbers 5 and 6. And let's go ahead and let's do number 8 real quick. So number 8, we have 10x to the fourth minus 26x cubed plus 2x squared plus 22x minus 4 divided by 2x minus 4. In other words, 2x minus 4 times something has to be equal to this, right? So we're going to write 2x minus 4 on the side, and we're going to figure out that something, right? Our number with the biggest exponent here is this 10x to the fourth. And I know 2x times 5x cubed is going to be equal to 10x to the fourth. Then I can multiply this out, right? Negative 4 times 5x cubed is negative 20x cubed. Then I have negative 20x cubed, we'll say minus something, has to be negative 26x cubed. All right, so I'm going to have a negative 26. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to write that. It's actually just negative 6x cubed, right? Because negative 6x cubed minus 20x cubed gives me negative 26x cubed. So 2x times negative 3x squared gives me this term here, this negative 6x cubed. And then negative 4 times negative 3x squared is 12x squared. Combining like terms again, I know 12x plus something has to be equal to 2x squared. So I have 12x squared minus 10x squared will get me that 2x squared. So 2x times negative 5x will give me negative 10x squared. And negative 4 times negative 5x is 20x. Well, 20x plus 2x will give me 22x. Right? And then 2x times 1 is 2x. Then I have this negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Now notice, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. If we look, we still have something we have to get to, right? Because this negative 4 should be in the bottom right-hand corner. But when this happens, what we have is a remainder, right? Just like in normal division, we can have a remainder. We got all the way to this point, and there's still a negative 5 to go, right? So we got to think negative 4 plus negative 5. That's how we get that negative 9. So we can just write this as a remainder, and we write it like this. So we have 5x cubed minus 3x squared minus 5x plus 1, and that's going to be plus our remainder, which is negative 5 all over 2x minus 4. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, but great job today, guys, and we'll talk about this more later.